Hey guys, I'm Tila and welcome to my channel, Life is Beautiful. Hopefully you've been checking out some of my videos by now and you're a little bit familiar with kind of my content of my channel. I spend a lot of time focused on positive energy and putting positive energy out in the universe to bring it back to you and, keeping that optimism alive. And it's okay to be realistic, but keeping that optimism alive so that you're constantly bringing that good positive energy into your life. But something that I haven't really spent enough time on and I haven't really focused on is dealing with negative energy, because it's great to want to be positive and to try to focus on all the good things in our lives, but there's always going to be negativity, and we need to know how to deal with it and how to process it. So before I kind of dive into that, there's really only two types of negativity and that negative energy that's in our lives. One is internal, and that's the negativity that we ourselves bring into our lives, whether that be by being pessimistic or having anxiety, depression, just being unhappy. That's the negative energy. That's that internal negative energy that we're bringing into ourselves. Then you have that external negative energy, and that's could come from friends, family, co-workers, strangers. It's just anyone else other than yourself that's bringing negative energy into your life. So I'm going to start really talking about dealing with that internal negative energy first, and then I'll kind of switch over to talking about how to deal with that external negative energy. So when it comes to our internal and our own negative energy, the first thing is actually being aware that we're being negative. Because a lot of times you get so focused on everything that's going on in your life and you don't realize just how much negative energy that you're putting out there. And it presents itself in many different ways. It may just be you wake up every morning and you dread going to work, or you dread having to deal with coworkers and people, and you dread having to drive to work or deal with traffic or whatever. And it seems that every situation in your life, instead of focusing on the good things that are happening for you and the good things that are coming to you, you're constantly zooming in on that negative energy. So some of the things that you really need to focus on is being aware. And then something that is true about energy is that it's never created nor destroyed. It's always just transformed. So really finding a way to take that energy that you're focusing on the negative and transitioning and focusing it on something more positive. So you're not necessarily getting rid of that energy, but you're changing the focus of it and trying to focus on something more positive to bring more positive energy into your life. So some of the things can be very simple. It's just if you're going through something, or when you wake up in the morning, instead of your first thought being a negative thought or being upset about the fact that you didn't sleep long enough or your alarm is going off, start your morning with that one positive thought and let it build from there. And then same thing if you're getting in traffic and you hate traffic and it's constantly a struggle and a disappointment, think of something positive about it. Oh, well, I have a little extra time in the morning to prepare myself to deal with my coworkers. That may be something positive, or I have a little bit more time to wake up and listen to music and jam along to something that's going to make me happy, and carry that into the rest of your day so that you're spending less time focused on the bad things and the negative things and transitioning that energy into something more positive. If it's something bigger going on in your life, try finding a hobby or something good and positive in your life that you can focus that energy on. So if you are an athlete, working out more or putting that energy into exercising, if you feel yourself getting angry or mad or frustrated, going to work out for a jog. If you're creative and you're an artist, painting, singing, writing, any of those things that you can do to kind of shift your focus from that negative energy to your positive energy is going to help. And even if you're not a creative person, that doesn't mean that you can't necessarily, do some writing. Sometimes if we don't have anyone to talk to and you still need a way to vent and release that negative energy, writing helps. Have a journal or, a blog or something, just something that you can do to get that energy out. Something else that helps that I enjoy is meditation. sometimes just having that silent time to really be with yourself and understand yourself and your own thoughts, it really helps to clear things up for you so that you can really change your perspective and put that energy into the positive things and not in the negative things. Sometimes even something as simple as turning on music, dancing around the house to something that you enjoy, just letting go of that negative energy and putting it into something that's positive and that's going to make you happy, something that you enjoy. You know, it's just the whole process and the whole thought behind it is just to really focus on good things in your life, shifting that energy from negative to positive. If your negative feelings are surrounding your job, finding out things that you can do to help you get on a different career path and to prepare you for that, you're using that same energy, but you're, instead of using that energy to bring yourself down, you're using that energy to drive you towards something that's better and that's going to help you, and it's positive. And then if all else fails, you know, talk to somebody. Sometimes we just need to have someone to vent to and to let it out, and, you know, just let all of the negativity out. And they don't necessarily have to offer you advice or tell you what you need to do, but just having that person that can allow you to get it off your chest, and so that you can let it go and shift that energy to something else. And, you know, if you don't have someone in your life that you can talk to or someone that you trust, you know, don't be afraid to go talk to a counselor or a teacher or, you know, your human resources manager or someone. There's always going to be someone available that you can talk to just kind of help you get away from that negative energy. And once you become more aware of it and you start focusing that energy in your life onto more positive things, it'll become easier and it'll be something that's second nature to you. And then you'll find, as you have bad things happen in your life, or if you have things that frustrate you, or if you have things that are bad that happen, you'll find yourself looking for kind of that silver lining or that one positive thing that's involved, and that will keep you going, and you'll see a transition in your life. And it's something that I had to do for myself, and it's something that I've actually helped family members with. I had a family member who was very much pessimistic. Anything that happened, they were always focused on how bad it was and how nothing ever goes right in their life, and, you know, the world was against them. And so I really worked with them, and I just told them, you know, the little things that happened, focus on the good part of it. Stop focusing on all the bad things that are in it. Even if the good is so small and insignificant, still focus on that, because ultimately you want to focus on the good and not the bad. And they really worked on it, and they tried it, and it was trial and error, and it was a lot of us communicating and helping them recognize what that silver lining was, because sometimes we ourselves don't see it, and sometimes you needed somebody else to come in and say, well, this part was good, or, you know, yeah, this and this seems like it was absolutely horrible and the worst thing ever, but, you know, what about this is still something that's good that happened. So, you know, helping that person get to that point, and then eventually, like I said, it became second nature. So then for themselves, they started to focus more on the positive things and focus more on that positive energy, and then good things started happening for them in their life. And they came back to me and they were like, wow, you were really right. It does make a difference when you focus on the good things and the positive energy, as opposed to focusing on the negative energy. It just makes you happier at the end of the day. So now I'm going to switch gears a little bit and talk about dealing with that external negative energy. And like I said, that can be friends, family members, it can be coworkers, or even strangers. Dealing with that type of negativity sometimes can be a little easier, but also a little bit trickier. So if it's someone that's like friends or a coworker or someone that doesn't have a significant place in your life, it can be easier to kind of just disconnect yourself from that, and just letting them know. And it's depending on the relationship with that person, it can be something that's fairly simple conversation where you say, you know, look, I'm trying to focus on the good things in my life, and I feel like you tend to contribute to some of my negative thinking or my negative thoughts or the negative ways, and so I want to better myself. If you want to be a part of that, then absolutely, I want you to continue to be in my life. But if you don't think that you can be on board with that, then I think we need to kind of reevaluate this friendship, whatever. Coworkers, it's a little bit easier. You can just keep it professional and leave it at that. Don't what's the word I'm looking for? Like, kind of don't take in that negative energy that they may be giving out. Don't pay them any mind. I've had times where I had coworkers that were constantly involved in drama and gossip and trying to drag me into it. And sometimes I would just have to disconnect myself from that and just say, hey, if you come to my desk, it's a no complaining zone. It's a no gossip zone. I respect that that's what you want to do and that's what you want to discuss, but that's not for me. So, please don't bring that to my desk. If you want to ask me a question about work and you want to keep it professional, by all means, we can do that. But other than that, I kind of draw the line there. Those are some of the ways that you can handle people that you don't have that really close relationship with. When it becomes family members or friends that are practically family members, it can be a little bit tricky because we want our family members and our close friends to stay in our life. We don't want to have to let go of someone that we love because of their energy. But we do have a right for our own mental health to kind of pull back a little bit and separate ourselves from it. So it's something that you'll have to be a little bit more delicate with and make sure if you're explaining to them what it has to do with you and not them, because you don't want it to be an attack on them. You don't want to be that one that says, oh, you're a bad person, you're this, you're that, you're always doing this, and you're bringing all of this into my life, and my life is drama filled and all of this because of you. Because all that's going to do is that's going to put them on the defense, and then you're going to be on the defense, and then you guys are both stewing in that negative energy. So instead, you want to try the approach of, I am trying to better myself. I am trying to step back away from the negativity and the drama. I'm trying to bring better things into my life, and I'm trying to improve. These are the things that I'm doing for myself. I hope that you will be on board with that. I need your help, or I need your support, and this is how. And when you tell them, how you need their help and support, make sure you say, I understand that you may be frustrated and you want to vent and things like that. However, if it becomes gossip, please know that I may cut the conversation short. If it becomes negative and you're ragging on me, or you're bringing negativity around me, please understand that I will remove myself from the conversation, or I will remove myself from the situation so that I can continue to better myself. Hopefully they'll understand and be very supportive, because that's what we really want out of our family. But if they're not, I would say to just kind of keep not necessarily your guard up, but just keep your positive thoughts. So no matter what that negativity that they're trying to bring to you, don't entertain it, don't engage in it, and just continue to keep your positivity and keep your positive thoughts and keep working towards bettering yourself. And eventually they'll either get on board or they'll get hip to it, and they'll understand that you're not in the same place anymore. And they may kind of like let up on you a little bit. And then again, if you need help and you just can't figure out how to get this person to understand that you're trying to better yourself, again, ask for help. Maybe get a mediator or a third party, or someone who doesn't really know both of you, who's not involved in the negativity and the drama, to just kind of mediate the conversation. Because sometimes the way you explain it and their feelings towards you may make them take it in a way that you're not intending, and they may take it like the wrong way. So sometimes having that third party come in and say, okay, this is what I hear you're saying, is that correct? Okay, now let me tell you, this is what she's trying to say, or this is what he's trying to say. It's not a personal attack, but this is how they feel, and this is what they're trying to do for themselves. And just having that help and having that extra voice in the middle, that's kind of a neutral party, definitely helps sometimes. So something that I was introduced to for a workshop, actually, that I did for work is something that I kind of now, I use it in my life for all kinds of things. Even though it was really intended for work, it was something that kind of stuck with me. And I think it really applies, especially when you're dealing with negative energy. And that is to ask yourself, is this adding value? So does this add value to my life? Does it add value to my happiness? Is it helping my situation? And if the answer is no, then you know you have to let it go. Whatever it is that you're focusing that negative energy on, you have to let it go. So if you have, drama with something at work, or if you're having issues with a friend or a family member, you have to ask yourself, the energy that I'm focusing on this, is it going to add value to my life? Is it going to make things better for me? Is it going to make me happier? If it's not, then you have to let it go. And unfortunately, the same thing still applies when you're dealing with people. And you have to ask yourself, does this person add value to my life? Does this person bring happiness into my life? Does this person bring joy into my life? Do they make me better? If your answer is no, if there's nothing that you can think about that person that is adding value to your life or joy or making you a better person, then you have to reevaluate your relationship, and it may be time to let them go. And like I said, have that hard conversation where you let them know that this is what I'm trying to do, this is how I'm trying to better myself. And unfortunately, this situation is not working for us. And it's going to cause uncomfortable conversations. It's going to cause uncomfortable views with yourself sometimes, because there's sometimes we focus our energy on things, and at the time it seems like it's something good, but if you really sit back and think about it, it's not adding any value to you, and it's not going to change the situation. It's not going to make it better. So you have to realize that it's sometimes you have to let go of things that are not good for you and that are not bringing you good energy. So I hope this helped a little bit with dealing with negative energy. There's no right or wrong way to do it. But I think it's very important to have a starting point for dealing with that negative energy. If you are someone who has a lot of negative energy around you, just knowing where to start and being more aware and catching yourself in those moments and telling yourself, okay, let me stop with this negative thought. Let me focus on the good thing that's in that, and allowing that to build and manifest more good things into your life. And then, like I said, if you're not happy about something, taking that negative energy that you're focusing on, the fact that you're not happy, and putting it into something that's going to help you get to a place where you are happy, whether it's helping you with your education or your art, or helping you make those next moves onto your career. Just focusing and shifting that focus of that energy from negative to positive, and eventually good things will continue to come into your life, and you'll start focusing on it, and it'll become second nature, to where you no longer have to think about, is this negative or is this positive? You'll constantly do that positive thing, and you'll have those positive vibes. And then, like I said, trying to get people on board in your family and your friends and your coworkers, and if they're not on board, making sure that you separate yourself from the situations, or making it clear to them that that's not what you want to be involved with. And just making sure that the people that you're surrounding yourself with are the people that are like-minded, and that they want you to better yourself, and they want you to be more happy and to be more positive, and they'll help you along that way. And then lastly, not being afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. That's one of the things that's so important out of everything else, because we always get to this point where we think it shows a sign of weakness if we have to ask someone to help us out, and it's not. To me, it's a sign of strength. If you have enough to humble yourself and ask someone to help you, that's a sign of strength. So don't take it as weakness, take it as strength. Don't be afraid to ask for help. So thank you for watching my video. I hope this helps, and I hope you hit the like and subscribe button. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any tips, advice, if you have any questions that you want me to answer, definitely leave it in the comments below, or hit me up on my Instagram that I also have with this under the same name. And thank you for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful life.